were unable to make it into the playoffs, but we are still here playing out our final week in the round robin stage of the tournament. Oh boy, and what a matchup we have for us today. Oh, look at that. Oh, the two Terran boys back to back. Oh.
Yeah, there we go. We have those Terrans, the aces of their teams, and it is going to be very exciting to see how everyone is going to be able to do in their respective matchups. We do have, there we go, Dolan going up against ByuN. That's going to be a pretty tough TVT for sure, but we've seen Dolan in the past has received a lot of TVTs actually, and has been able to get pretty close to taking out some of the best players. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. We've had some amazing matches so far in the World Team League, and every single time I want to believe. And really, for Dolan, it comes down to whether or not he's wearing his glasses. What kind of demeanor, what kind of allure does he have going on right now on cam?
Yeah, we will have that, as we do have that D for Dolan, the B for ByuN. Very fitting.
They can spell.
And definitely going to be seeing ByuN getting that nod there for that micro, for that offense as well. I feel like ByuN could almost get the 10 in micro.
Oh, you know what I just... Mate. Is this intentional or not? Have they given Dolan some extra points in strategy? Did that happen? Has he been ranking up there? Or
I haven't really
always
been keeping track, but
yeah,
he does deserve it.
He does deserve it. So I want to believe he has. Apparently, he has greater strategy than ByuN, which of course I would 100% agree with. There, obviously the admins they know what they're on about. I would maybe even give him a couple of extra points in areas like mindset as well. But yeah. Obviously, we are the underdogs coming into this, but in the best of two format, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Anything can happen, and if there is anyone who can steal a game off just about anyone in the world, it is Dolan, and we have his map, Stargazers, coming up.
Yeah, Stargazers is going to be coming out first. I did get messaged by Dolan earlier in the day, and he did say that he has something special in store for us on this very map, and we'll see what exactly that is as we have representing the CranKy Ducklings, Dolan.
There we go, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, his opponent for the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN.
Let's go, Papi. Let's go. We've seen Dolan a lot as a bit of a TVP sniper, but in the TVTs, he's also got some pretty good strategies as well. Maybe not anywhere near as fancy or having anywhere near as much flair, but I believe.
Yeah, and there we go. He is going to be opening with a gas first, so already doing something a little bit different here in the TVT. Does mean that he should have the possibility for a slightly faster factory.
Oh, yeah, he will have that available to him. And we'll see where this all takes us. Okay, Asher, if you're Dolan and if you say you have something special on Stargazers, and if we're talking about early game aggression, what do you want to see?
I mean, Stargazers, I'm usually thinking of a Hellion drop or a tank drop, something like that. But the way that he's opening so far, it does look like the first thing that's coming to mind for me is actually Hellion Marauder, which is a build that Clem used to do a lot, that the Koreans are starting to do a little bit more often as well, because he has just gone for a single gas with the gas first, which means he's going to go for probably a fast expand and a reactor factory.
Okay. I see that as well, as we do see an SCV already headed to that pocket base location. There we go. Dolan does have a CC on the way, so is going to be having a little bit of a lead in that timing of his own base. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there we go. So is going to be getting that factory up and running as well. I do think this could be this could definitely be a Hellion drop build.
Yeah, I imagine so. We'll keep an eye on things. We'll see the timing of the starport as well as how many Hellions are made in the end. I mean, this is a really good map for it. I would say it could be maybe too much of an obvious pick, but for the time being, Dolan does have control of the watchtower. Oh my god, the SCV is moving out here for a proxy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a proxy starport.
Is this too out of the ways for a starport? Oh, okay, there we go. He is edging on a little bit closer here. We have the add-on switch for those Hellions, and oh, it's a very interesting location for the racks.
What have you got for us, Dolan? Give it to us.
Give it to us, Poppy. There's the starport, so the medevacs can meet up with those Hellions. Oh.
Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is a proxy Hellion, but at the same time, this is a very odd place to put the starport. I mean, the thing with putting the starport here on this map is it doesn't help with the close air distance. You're actually coming from a really long way, so what I'm starting to think is that he could be going into a BC behind this.
I think so as well. We've seen that a little bit on Data C, if you remember. Some of the Koreans were whipping out that BC build, and I do think there it is. There's the fusion core.
Yeah, so we're going to be getting that fusion core. We have that tech lab behind it as well. I am a little bit worried for Dolan because there is a Banshee on the way, and he currently has nothing that shoots up.
Yeah. He doesn't really have much that shoots up, so I'm a little bit concerned as well. Right now, ByuN's scouring the map right now, looking for what there is to be seen. Unfortunately, because of this build, we skip Cyclones. We don't have any Marines either. The Rax isn't really doing much at home. Oh boy, that Banshee is gonna have a hell of a time.
Yeah, this is the ByuN build. Oh, it was a second starport. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's 2-port BC.
Oh my goodness. As we do see ByuN, he did open up with 2 Cyclones into Banshee. It is, of course, the ByuN build. And these 2 Cyclones are going to have an absolute field day. There is so little here to deal with this. Looks like the Hellions are going to be rocking up. We are going to be seeing those SCVs pulled away from the natural.
Yeah.
And mines are going to be the option because there's just no anti-air otherwise.
There's no other option. There's no other answer right now. It's either mines or Marines from that Rax. Meanwhile, the fusion core has been scouted by ByuN.
He's going to be spotting that fusion core. I think Dolan might have been able to hide this mine. It's a little bit obvious, but ByuN is going to be flying into that. The Banshee does get taken out, and we are going to be safe at home just for the moment. Meanwhile, ByuN, he has a Raven. He has 2 Cyclones. So we're going to have to be very careful with this BC. We've got Vikings on the way as well. I don't really see this working. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like with 2 Cyclones, with 2 Vikings, with a disable or an auto turret from the Raven as well, 1 BC isn't gonna cut it. But it looks like we're waiting for a second BC, so maybe with 2, maybe paired with Yamato, we can get something to work here. But by the time that happens, like ByuN has a lot of time to himself to build up an anti-air army.
Yeah, I think Dolan here was hoping that this was going to go unscouted for a while and that he was going to be able to pull up BCs for a little bit. So he hasn't really been able to do that exactly, but at the same time, he is going to have more BCs than ByuN expects. This does look in all rights like a single proxy starport. Double proxy starport, not really something that you see that often, but meanwhile, ByuN behind the scenes is starting to pump out those Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. He has not stopped Viking production ever since he scouted that fusion core. We just see a couple of units sneaking out across the map for ByuN just to get eyes, or actually get into the main base just to get a follow-up scout, just to see what the production is looking like, and even just force a reaction out of Dolan.
Oh, and there we go. We are having a few Reapers being slipped into the main of Dolan as well. 3 SCVs is going to be going down. Not that much there to help deal with it either, as Dolan is really all in on these BCs getting damage.
Yeah, very all in. We have confirmation the Reapers did die. It looks like Dolan is going to be waiting for the Yamato. He's soon to have 4 BCs with 4 Yamatos. That's not looking too bad, I guess. I kind of wish we were looking at the units tab right now just to get a really good eye on what exactly ByuN has to defend.
Yeah, I believe he should have 6 Vikings. I'm not really sure where he's keeping them, but I would expect he should have 6 by now.
Yeah,
it is going to be hard for Dolan to get anything done just because of the Cyclones, because of the Raven. The Raven should have enough energy for 2 disables by the time he comes in as well.
There we go. We have 2 of those lock-ons at the same time. There is the disable on both of the BCs. They cannot teleport away.
Yeah, that was a disaster for Dolan. It didn't quite work out, but I liked the idea.
GG gets called as ByuN. He just sips on some Yakult.
It's like Giga Yakult.
It's hefty, mate. It's thick. It's wide.
It's like, I don't even know what you call that. Thick Yakult with a double Q.
Double, mate. Double. Oh my god. So ByuN does take the first game there. Again, I really appreciate the overall plan from Dolan, but unfortunately he got scouted quite early on indeed. I'm sure he wasn't quite expecting the Banshee opener to come out from Dolan. Sorry, from ByuN.
Yeah, I think he did get a little bit unlucky with the opener. He did get unlucky as well that ByuN was able to scout out what was happening so quickly. I feel like if ByuN had gone for a more standard Reaper Hellion opening, this would have worked out really well.
Yeah.
Just because the mass Hellions would have been able to deflect that. He wouldn't have got that scout. It still definitely could have got dicey if ByuN went for his trademark either drop or Raven harass. He does have a lot of harass that he often goes for that probably would have seen it eventually, but yeah, a bit unfortunate that Dolan didn't get to pull up those BCs and it didn't work out the way he was hoping.
Yeah, it didn't work out in the end, but he's going to have a second chance here. A second shot on inside and out. This is, of course, Dolan's map of choice. And we'll see if he's going to be able to work on the fly here as he's going to be spawning in towards the bottom left-hand corner of inside and out, representing the CranKy Ducklings, Dolan.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. Playing for the Shopify Rebellion, this is ByuN.
Oh boy, here we go. So what does Dolan have in store for us? So far, no SCV has been sent out on the map, so no proxy Raxes for the Dolan.
Yeah, looks like Dolan going to be opening things up a little bit more standard, at least so far. We have seen this quite a few times from him in the World Team League as well, usually having one cheeky build and one more standard build. I know he likes 2 Reaper, 2 Cyclone quite a lot. That's something that we've seen a lot out from him, and usually does open with that and go into the cheeky build second, but yeah, he is picking out inside and out for this next map.
Yeah, exactly. Quite a standard map. I mean, I say standard, like we have seen quite a few proxies here in TBTs especially, but we can see that neither one of these two players are going for that. So in a more standard straight up game, you know, I appreciate that Dolan may be looking to go for that kind of style here, you know, having some cheeky aggression game 1 and then laying it back in game 2.
Yeah, I love as well that ByuN, despite how crazy that last game was, opts not to SCV scout anyway.
He's crazy, Poppy. He's crazy. Because of that, he's going to be a little bit more efficient. I guess he also is reading his opponent quite well, you know, recognizing that, mate, you're not going to do something crazy in game 2. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dolan is going to be opening up pretty standard. He's going to be keeping his SCV back as well, so he can try to win out the Reaper battle here. Try to use that SCV just to tank a little bit, get that first shot with the Reaper, but ByuN, he is one of the best players in the world when it comes to that Reaper control. We're going to be able to see if Dolan can take out this SCV. The SCV does go down, the Reaper does get on top of each other. Looks like Dolan actually getting the first shot on that as well.
Yeah, exactly. So Dolan not looking too bad here. In the end, he's going to lose his SCV, but he's going to be able to get away with the life of his Reaper. So not a bad start for Dolan.
Yes, Modeland the unit. ByuN not happy with that either.
Shaking his head, the danger Dolan. Mate, he's breaking in. He's setting up shop in the brain of ByuN.
Yeah, ByuN looking a little bit triggered there, as we do see he's going to be opening up with probably the most meta build possible at the moment. We are just seeing the 2 Reapers, the Hellion, and the Mine coming out from him. He's going to be going for that pretty fast tech lab as well, so just looking to play things very safely.
Yeah, very defensive, very safe. Of course, that Widowmine is going to be setting up here at the natural ramp of ByuN, just waiting for any kind of major move from his opponent. Speaking of, there we go. Dolan is moving out with 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. He has to be very careful if he does decide to push up this ramp. He should be anticipating a Widowmine on top of here. Anyway, we'll see if he can respond in time or if he takes a massive shot to the face.
Yeah, there we go. Nice little pullback there. Does micro that Hellion out of the way. I think I'm just going to pause for a second, slightly ahead. As we do see the mine going to be traded out there. It is going to be going down, but with that medevac finishing up for ByuN here, he's going to be able to send what little he does have across the map and put on a little bit of aggression of his own.
Oh my god, yes, he will be looking for that aggression. Oh boy, and we'll see if Dolan maybe lost too much. I mean, in the end, he only lost a single Hellion, like he is pulling his units back at home. We should be expecting a move soon, I imagine, from, I guess, ByuN. Like, that Marine count's getting quite high.
Yeah, I think once his Cyclone is finished, he should be looking to push out, but it's going to be Dolan making the first move, trying to establish a little bit of map control here with this little force that he does have, and all in all, the players pretty even so far in every respect.
Yeah, we'll see how the next couple of moments are going to turn out here. I mean, a best case scenario here for Dolan is to try and catch out this army, maybe even get a lock-on on top of that drop. It looks like that's exactly what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, there we go. Good little bit of damage on that medevac. Nice delay there for ByuN as well, but ByuN's got a nice set of units here that he can start to push out with, and he is, of course, very good with the micro. He should be able to get a lot done with this medevac, so this is going to be the first little moment to see how Dolan can fare against the strength of ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. ByuN is sending everything across the map. Dolan has to prepare back at home. He does have a tank in position, but bearing in mind, we do have a Raven available as well for that disable if ByuN does need it. Oh, and Dolan unfortunately doesn't have too much scouting information either. Here we go. ByuN is pushing in.
Yeah, there we go. We get that lock on the Raven. The Raven is going to be going down. We see both players throwing down an auto turret. This tank in quite a bit of trouble, but it is getting some nice shots off, and ByuN is going to be deflected. He doesn't take out the tank, and with that scan as well, the medevac's going down.
Oh no, Mas, there we go. The medevac goes down for the price of the Cyclone, but well worth it in the end. I am shocked that ByuN, he wasn't target firing that tank. Like, I feel like the attack there was kind of left to its own devices, and Dolan got a lot of value overall.
Yeah, definitely. Dolan can heal that tank back up. He should have a small lead in that regard. We can see ByuN looking a little bit uncomfortable. He's going to be taking a third on location. Realizes that he has a lot of map control despite not being able to break in here. He is going to be able to keep that third safe just with that little bit of aggression on the front, and going to be dipping into the main as well to get a bit of harass done with his Raven.
Yeah, there we go. The Raven does dip into the main base. We do have an auto turret. A nice quick pull from Dolan is going to be able to keep the majority of his units alive here. Just a little less mining time, but not too many dead SCVs. Meanwhile, Smoj, that tank is stuck.
Yeah, the tank a little bit trapped. Going to have to wait till that orbital finishes up, as we do see ByuN getting into a bit of an annoying spot. Dolan a little bit slow to pull that tank back. Is going to be able to get the repair on it. Won't be losing it, importantly, but is going to be losing this gas at the front, and that's pretty annoying as well with that. With the third getting down on location for ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. Dolan's being contained to 2 bases. Meanwhile, ByuN is happily mining on 3. Meanwhile, unit stuck. You know what? I think that deserves a sip.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, I don't want to be drinking at the cost of one of my players, but I do think that does deserve one. And meanwhile, we do see again ByuN doing a great job at just putting so much pressure on Dolan. We do see a couple of units are peeled off as well to keep an eye on that triangular third location as well.
Yeah, we have a disable there too, so Dolan going to be able to poke forward. Should be able to get some damage on the tank. Oh, unfortunately, that does poke a little bit too far forward. Is it going to take some shots on that tank, but looks like ByuN just gets the scan in time.
Yeah, the scan was crucial. Without it, he would have been in trouble. At the same time, the Raven comes back in. This time, the pullback was a little bit too late, and 8 SCVs go down.
Yeah, great timing there, and wow, that Hellion move was so clever by ByuN there. That was really nicely done, but Dolan just going to be tapping out, realizes there's nothing he can really do. ByuN gets the win, but not without a little sweating.
Oh my god. Yes, he does get the win in the end. He was looking a little bit concerned earlier. He was under a little bit of pressure, but alas, he does take the 2-0 win in the end. And yeah, Dolan, he put up a good fight. There were definitely some moments there for him, but alas, did crumble in the end.
Yeah, did crumble in the end, and that means we do have our ace player up here. It is going to be Vindicta versus Scarlett, a bit of a NA classic here. Vindicta and Scarlett, a couple players that they're very familiar with each other. I know they have done customs quite a bit in the past. They do match on ladder quite a bit as well, and Vindicta probably does a little bit better than some people might expect in those customs as well. So I have to say this match might be a bit closer than some people expect.
This is what my body has been waiting for. I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, like, Christmas just wasn't the same this year. Like we were casting some StarCraft as we do, but I felt like I was missing something in my life. And then I looked over at the WTL matchups. Vindicta versus Scarlett. This is what I needed. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one where it does really feel like Vindicta has the potential to get the win here. We've seen he's gotten a few TVZ matchups in the past weeks. He got a 2-0 over Radata, so he has been looking extremely strong in the matchup, and I know he's got quite a few new builds that he has been working on as well that might be catching Scarlett off guard here.
Definitely. No, we have seen Scarlett struggle in the past in this matchup. We've seen her fall to players to the likes of Epic in the past as well, with, to be fair, some very cheeky builds and some very aggressive builds more than anything. So I'm really looking forward to this, just because I do think that even though Scarlett is a world-class renowned player and there are a lot of eyes on her, I do think that this is still going to be a very close series.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the things that Vindicta has been working on as well, I think match up really well against Scarlett. She's a player that does play things very by the book, very kind of traditional when it comes to this matchup. And Vindicta's new Cyclone opening is something that can abuse her.
Ooh, it really can. Something that I don't see too often is that, Vindicta, he makes me want to look forward to something like mech. He has a very unique style of mech as well, and if he's able to pull it off, like, it looks really fun. It actually looks really good. I wouldn't even mind playing against it as well, just because of how diverse it can really be. Oh my god, I want it, Poppy. I want it.
Well, absolutely. We do have a Moondance coming up here as the first map. A map where it does feel like Terran might be even a little bit favored. It's usually the choice for vetoes for Zergs. So we're going to have to wait and see how Vindicta is going to look to exploit that. Meanwhile, I think Scarlett's score deserves a drink.
All right, let's go. Let's go, Poppy. More than a sip this time, though.
I think you should have a sip.
Right, what are you trying to do
it's
right
okay,
now?
It's okay.
It's fine.
We're getting towards the end. Go.
Mate.
Have a colossal
Hey.
goal.
Asher. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. You want me to calm down on New Year's? Oh my god. Yeah, I hope the chat gets ready as well, not to just experience the mech, but to experience the shaft of Voltron, because I know we've got a couple people tuning in for the first time, and it's something that is really a sight to behold.
Yeah, of course, Voltron, the powerhouse that is formed when all the ducklings combine their strength, and the most important part, as Parting would say, that is Vindicta.
Is that what he says?
The important thing.
Yeah, the shaft is the most important thing, clearly. Without the shaft, then are you really Voltron? Are you...
Where he gets his power.
It is where the power is harnessed. It's where the power is stored as well. It's what everyone wants to look at. And speaking of everyone looking at Vindicta, we have a massive shout out to someone who just gave us a bit of a raid here. Shout out to SC2 Fool in the chat. Let's get some Jamie Oliver gifts. Let's go, Fafi.
Go. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up, lad. That's a touchy subject.
Oh my god, is it? Oh no. What has happened, Fafi? What has happened?
Have we not kept you up to date with the latest on the Jamie sausage gift saga?
I haven't. What?
Something terrible happened. Something that probably should have happened a long time ago.
Oh, did it get banned?
It did get banned.
Oh, it got banned. Smooch, Papi, smooch. Ah.
Yeah, can you see the new one? There's a tombstone, R.I.P. Jamie sausage gift.
R.I.P. Papi.
It's tragic, truly tragic.
They're censoring the Terrans.
They are. They're taking away the one thing that made us happy.
The one thing that gave us a reason to get up in the morning. Smooch, papi, smooch.
I mean, now we have the dancing sausage, and I like the dancing sausage. It's fun. It's a bit silly, but it's not quite the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. And you know what else isn't the same? I think we do have to take another bit of a swig here for any kind of delays that we have for our matches, and I think we have a bit of a delay because Migs took him a while to get in game.
Yes, he's probably just woken up.
Oh my god. For those wondering, I don't think we actually shared this with the chat. We do have a refined version here. For those wondering, Asher, he was really earning his CranKy Ducklings paycheck this week. He actually got to work. He actually set up a nice refined document on how
Discord.
we're gonna drink on Discord. Yeah, it's beautiful, Papi. It's beautiful.
We're trying to find it now.
It's not formatted for Twitch, but there it is.
Okay. You're just showing. Oh my god.
Drink every time the wall is not a wall. Drink every time he's not looking, Papi. He's not looking. 1G or no GG. Unit gets out with 1 HP.
I haven't been looking out for that one.
I haven't been either. That did happen when I was casting with Yaku, but we weren't drinking at the time.
Yeah.
Drink whenever Hoja. There you go. Whenever the logos are shown by the observer, whenever the hexagons are clearly wrong.
Oh, 16 micro for Vindicta. Let's go.
Okay. I'm getting the tequila for this.
Yeah,
one.
I need to top up. Oh, you just copy pasted it into the chat, the document. Well, while you do that, we just have dead air. I'm changing here to the, I don't know if you can't really see it, can you? The Sailor Jerry spiced rum. I guess it's not really working there, but we're switching to rum, puppy.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Put too much.
I just took a sip of my tequila. It's good. Whenever the hexagons are clearly wrong, Vindicta does deserve some more micro here, so they are obviously wrong.
Agreed.
A player has a special celebration / pop off on camera.
We haven't seen that yet, to be honest. We've had very subdued celebrations, but if Vindicta wins this one, 100% there's going to be a pop off.
True, and time between games exceeds 3 minutes, which is just what happened. It's me, Ross, one of the bottom right hand corner, representing the CranKy Ducklings. We have Vindicta.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map for the Shopify Rebellion, we have Scarlett.
Oh boy, here we go, as I believe we are going to be changing servers. Scarlett letting us know that she is playing from Korea, so there we go. So, you know what? I'm going to take another sip for that. So, okay.
Yeah, I believe Scarlett just moved back to Korea. I've seen that her streams have switched over to a bit of Korean ladder, a bit of Brood War ladder as well in Korea.
True.
So I think she must have just moved back probably in the last few days.
Yeah, it's possible that she spent Christmas with the family, and then as soon as Christmas ended, she just hopped on a plane and went back to Korea. There you go.
Straight back to the motherland.
Beautiful. The motherland?
StarCraft.
Yeah, of StarCraft. Of course. Oh my god.
We'll have a sip for that.
Yes, indeed. What I was gonna say is that you missed the celebration during IG versus SSLT. Max said dance for us. He danced when he beat Firefly.
That's pretty hype.
He had 2 celebrations. The first one he danced and he did like a little bit of this.
One of those, yeah.
This, yeah. And then on the second one he
that's the Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. The Pulp. True. The other one, what did he do? He played it off like cool, but also very hype as well. He was like boxing. He was like, let's go.
All I remember, I think
It's
Harston did
crazy.
that as well. Did that little-
Yeah. Like Max had popped off, mate. He 2-0'd.
Uh-huh.
2-0'd. It's crazy.
Love to see it. Love to see those celebrations as well. Hoping to see one again, hopefully from this player too, as spawning in the top left-hand corner once again, we have the CranKy Duckling Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance, we have representing Shopify Rebellion, Scarlett.
Here we go. So, we were talking about it a little bit before. This is a map that you don't see that often in ZVT, and I do believe it's because of that short rush distance. This is, of course, the shortest rush distance in the pool. Some players that I have seen that do play it a little bit more like Lambo, often going for pool first here, and there we go. We do see Scarlett, in fact, going for the pool first.
There we go. Pool first opening from Scarlett. Meanwhile, one of the more important things that we got to point out, Scarlett clearly no longer in Canada because she actually has light in her room. She's not basking in darkness. And she also has the Korean plushies. If you didn't know, those are very special Korean-only cardboard plushies. It's a big Zergling, and it's also a Brood War, not shuttle. What is it? Reaver. It's a Brood War Reaver hat.
Oh, Reaver.
Yeah.
Looks like a bee.
Does look like a bee. It's very happy.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a hat. It's got like a little straps that go around your neck. I don't know why it's a hat.
Fair enough. Just like your hat. There you go.
It is. It's just like this. Just like this. It's beautiful. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm a little bit jealous. Hopefully one day they get released internationally, but I don't think they ever will. A bit of a smudge there, but fun fact nonetheless for the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there we go. We are going to be seeing that scout coming out from Vindicta. We'll be able to dip in the main. Very importantly, does get a quick look at the pool, sees that it's not wiggling. I think he did get a look at the gas as well. As long as he can see that Scarlett has in fact pulled out of gas, which she has pulled out of gas completely, he should know that it's been a fast third.
Yeah, very fast third indeed. So a very interesting opener here from Scarlett, completely giving up on gas, giving up on any kind of link speed timing, just prioritizing her hatcheries instead and fast queens. Yeah, very iconic to this map and very interesting to see play out.
Yeah, absolutely. Vindicta as well is just going to be going for a very standard build. Does look like he's going to be going for a 3cc out of this as well, keeping his Reaper at home. There we go. The 3rd cc pops down on location. So another nice feature of this map for the Terran is you can go for a 3cc build straight on location there. And what I'm going to be looking out for here is if he starts up a second factory.
Oh. I'm going to be looking out for that as well. Meanwhile, we have seen this feature of this map earlier today, both XY and Coffee going for the very fast third hatcheries, third CCs, but we do see Scarlett looking to try and punish this a little bit. Those lings do get across the map. It looks like we will be getting a delay on that CC, so very nicely done by Scarlett. You often don't see these early lings really have too much, oh my god, too much value, but she gets 2 SCVs.
Yeah, Vindicta did send his Reaper across the map, which, without making a second Marine here, can be a little bit greedy, and there is a small punish coming out from Scarlett. We're going to be getting a delay on that third base as well. That SCV just being sent out the back to help out with that now, and looks like Vindicta going to be going for a 3cc Banshee opening here.
Yeah, there we go. The start board is on the way for that Banshee. Meanwhile, the Reapers across the map just to try and get a little bit of scouting information. Scarlett did get double gases to try and catch up in the gas count because she pulled out very earlier in the game. So she's going to be catching up to get her link speed and get into her tech. I imagine it's going to be link speed. We'll see if she does end up using that first 100 gas on that or on something else.
Yeah, and there we go. The link speed is going to be going down. We do see that Banshee on the way for Vindicta as well. That third should be finishing up just around now. And it does look like he probably has opted to go for that Banshee just to be a bit more safe, of course, against any possible Roach opening coming out from Scarlett. Rather interestingly here, he hasn't started Cloak. And I don't think, yeah, there we go. With Stim starting up, he isn't going to start Cloak. It's just going to be the one safety Banshee. And we're going to be looking to get into a bit more of a faster push, possibly a tank push here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, with that stim on the way, of course, we have confirmation that it is not going to be mech. We also saw that Vindicta got a full scout of the third base. He even got away with his Reaper, and he confirmed that droning was happening, so he knows that he is completely safe. There's no early roach timing coming across the map or anything crazy like that. So he should be feeling a little bit comfortable. Of course, he was delayed with his CC earlier, don't get us wrong. But he's really just looking to poke and prod with these Hellions and work up towards that soon-to-be imagined tank push.
Yeah, and there we go. Off those 6 Hellions there, I think he does just have the extra 2 at home just to be safe. We are going to be going into a bit more of a faster barracks timing, so we are going to be looking to get into that stim, into those Marines a little bit faster, maybe get a bit of a quicker drop as well, and there is a lot more potential for damage. I can see as well, it looks like he's gone for, I believe that's double reactor, so might be playing straight into mines as well, which is a bit more of a modern style, something that we see Clem playing quite a lot. Can be risky if you're playing against roaches, but it looks like he's quite confident that he isn't.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what his kind of factory production of choice is going to be. I imagine it's going to be mines as well. We do see a lot of Raxes being thrown down, by the way, and we still haven't seen too much of that factory production. The first Banshee is going to get into the main base, but alas, because there is no cloak, the amount of damage he can do is quite limited.
Yeah, just gonna be poking around, getting a little bit of scout there. We do see 1-1 being started up, and nice fast medevac. So we got a pretty quick double drop on the way here.
Oh,
which
that's
is
a drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, these Terran players and their stuck units. Oh my god. As Vindicta, of course, will be saving that later on. So far with the Hellions is going to be able to clear up quite a bit of creep here in the center of the map. And there we go. Widowmine production has commenced. There it is.
He saved it.
Oh.
I wouldn't save it. I kill them sometimes.
You kill them? Why are you killing them?
Because they've let down the Dominion.
But you can pick him up, Buppy. You can pick him up.
It's the message. You have to send a message to the other SCVs that you can't slack off.
Yeah, you better not get stuck. Otherwise, you're gone, mate.
Hey, we're having no stepbrothers in my army. As we do have that double drop being sent out. We've got those Hellions on the way as well as a couple mines. So nice little bit of diversity to this push, and going to be pretty hard to deal with this just with Ling Bane. It's going to be a bit of a micro battle between these two players, but Scarlett with a lot of Banelings on the way.
Oh, she does have a lot on the way, but you know what? Bathing speed isn't done, but it will finish up in 5 seconds. We have to give a little bit more time for the Terran to finish up that armory. It does finish. He can morph in those Hellbats.
Yeah, fantastic last-minute reactions there by Scarlett. Does dive out of the way of the retarget. That was about to take out a lot of Banelings there. Vindicta, very good with retargeting the mines. It's something that not every Terran, even at the top level, is that attentive with, and it's something that he does place a pretty high priority on.
Definitely, you know what? It does pay off for itself. Meanwhile, the Baileys finally get their connections, take down every single one of those Hellions. A little bit of a misstep there by Vindicta, but he does escape. And you know what? That Banshee, even paying for itself a little bit, is going to be able to pick off a couple of those Banelings.
Yeah, he does pull back there to that Banshee. The Banshee can be taking out a few Banelings. Some nice trades here, but the story of the game really is in that supply. And Scarlett, she has absolutely rocketed up to that 91 drone count.
Yeah, something that only Scarlett can really do is to just drone heavily, get away with it, and now work on nothing but army. Vindicta is falling behind here. He has been trading quite efficiently, but these next couple of moments are going to be scary. He has to try and catch up. 2-2 on the way. Drilling claws on the way.
Yeah, Scarlett has put Vindicta in a very uncomfortable position here where she is very significantly ahead on the drones here. She is quite heavily as well into the tech. She has that infestation pit finishing up, the Hydra range as well finishing on up, getting ready for that next patch, of course. Going to be going heavily into the Hydras, and the Hive already on the way. She is very comfortable in this game right now.
Very comfortable indeed. Here we go. She's getting ready to push on in. We do have 3 Widowmines behind this. Oh, nice unborrowed by Vindicta. He doesn't waste that shot, but the Widowmine is going to go down regardless. Ooh.
Yes, Scarlett's anti-mine micro has been exemplary in this game, and just does feel like Vindicta is going to be struggling to hold this off, and so far behind in eco as well. This is a really rough position to be in.
Exactly.
Double drop is going to be getting itself into the main at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Because the double drop is across the map, he doesn't have enough at home to defend. The Banelings are rolling on in towards the pocket base.
Yeah, those Banelings getting some great connections there. Vindicta's attention just a little bit split at the wrong time. These Hydra's going to be cleaning up a lot of the units. Does feel like he just didn't quite get the rhythm of the attention correct there, and 35 SCVs going down. He is now at less than half of the drone count of Scarlett.
Yeah, exactly. He's just really struggling to keep up here. He was able to kill something in the main base. I'm not too sure what the tech structure was. I thought it was a spawning pool, but links are continuing to be made. He's going to try and do what he can with these drops, but there's just too much to defend. The Queen shut him down.
Yeah, Queen's going to be shutting that down. We do see additional Hydras being produced. We have that +1 range on the way as well. Vindicta in a spot here where he really just has to go for it. He has to get something done right here, right now. He's just too far behind otherwise, and we see a lot of Banelings being started up by Scarlett all at once. 39 on the way.
Yo, do this Hydras count as being stuck?
Yeah?
Oh my
the
God.
Widow Mine friendly fire. Yeah.
Oh, that's a
The
shot.
Mix mine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mix.
At the same time, here we go. Scarlett's going for a mass engagement. She's maxed out 200 supply. The tanks are left completely exposed, and Vindicta just doesn't have the numbers here to hold on.
Yeah, some good connections with the Banelings, both with the tanks and with the mines there, but does just feel like he doesn't have what he needs here. He's doing his best. He's microing his heart out, but his pure Hydra is going to be battering on through. Nice little snipes there on the Banelings. He just needs to pull back and heal up, but he is still only just getting that 4th base up, and Scarlett remains here on 93 drones.
Yeah, to be fair, we have seen some ridiculous... Oh, Scarlett. We got a drink for that as well.
What are you trying to do to us?
Nah, we got a drink for that one, buddy. Scarlett, she hates this puppy. She hates this.
As there we go, the Zerg Swarm doing its best to recreate the cutscenes there, just overtakes that natural there of Vindicta, crashes on through. Scarlett, are they saying hi to the Discord, hi to the chat?
Oh, is she streaming right now?
Yeah, she is.
Oh my, she's streaming her POV, so there we go. Maybe just giving a bit of a shout out to the chat there, but what a game, number one. We saw her get away with droning quite early on there, getting away with a lot of workers, and Vindicta having a hard time punishing that.
Yeah, absolutely. That opening not quite working out there for Vindicta the way that he wanted to. It did look so close to that mine getting some critical shots, which would have been able to start him getting snowballing with those units, but Scarlett, unfortunately, just a little bit too strong with that micro. Too quick with the reactions pulling away from that mine there, and Vindicta doesn't quite get it done. Scarlett with a very strong game one there.
Oh, very strong indeed. Oh my god. Oh, but I still believe in our boy. I still believe in our CranKy Duckling. Of course, we're going to be getting ready for game numero dos. And Vindicta. I mean, maybe I'm cheating a little bit here. I'm looking over at Scarlett's screen. We do have the map of choice. It is, in fact, going to be Tropical Sacrifice.
There we go. So Tropical Sacrifice coming out from Vindicta. The fact that he's gone here for a larger map, I think he does want to go for a bit more of the macro game. I do think as well that there's a pretty good chance we're going to be seeing that new Cyclone opening. It's something that he has wanted to try out quite a lot. The other options that we could be seeing here, I know that 8 racks in the past has been a build that's quite effective against Scarlett just because of her tendencies to go towards very high drone counts.
I agree. Like, we've seen that work in the past. We can see it work again. I'm torn, right? I understand the power behind, the 8 racks push and the 8 racks pressure that a Terran can apply. But I'm also a little bit selfish, and I kind of want Vindicta to go mech. So.
Oh, you're really becoming attached to his mech style.
It's like no one else does it like Vindicta. Like, have you actually seen another Terran player do it?
Like Cyclone Mine Ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see Gumiho do it, but I haven't seen him do it.
That's the thing, right? We haven't seen it happen. So, yeah, I want to see it again. Here we go. We're just getting confirmation. Tropical Sacrifice is the map here for our 2 players. Now, yeah, sure, because it's the second time we're seeing this hexagon, do we drink again for the 69? Yeah.
I don't think I can stop you at this point.
Oh my god.
So there we go. If you're playing along at home, have a little sip. Have a sip on us, and hopefully the player is not going to be getting their units stuck quite as much in this game.
No, get it all stuck, Poppy. Get it. Oh, step, bro. Do it, Poppy. Do it.
I mean, what do we have? We had the SCV stuck behind the E-base.
Yeah.
We had the Lings stuck behind the Banelings.
Yep.
We had the Hydras stuck inside the Banelings.
Baneling. Oh, that's a bit of a rare one. You don't see that too often, to be honest.
No, I mean, I think it's pretty hard for that to not happen, but it doesn't happen that much.
Doesn't happen that we don't.
Why doesn't that happen to you more?
Because I'm not an animal. Because I keep them separate. Poppy. I keep them separate.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like a 50 school.
No, like I real talk. Whenever I morph in banelings, I usually like box lings and I set them aside and then I morph them into banelings, which I don't think is a very good thing to do, but that's what I do.
You don't even control click the lings?
No. God.
You're an animal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Speaking of being crazy, I was about to give a shout out, but sporting in the top right hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the CranKy Duckling from America, Vindicta.
And spawning in here at the bottom left hand corner of the map for the Shopify Rebellion, this is Scarlett.
And as we get into this game, I want to give a massive shout out to AsherBro in the chat for subscribing for 4 months in a row, or having a 3-month sub streak. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, of course, and thank you as well to Shiva Blaster with the gifted sub to Ursus.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Shout out to Shiva, Ursus, AsherBro. Thank you so much for all the support. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a team and we wouldn't even be playing in World Team League. So thank you so much for the love in the chat. And happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed. Lovely to see those familiar faces in chat as always. We appreciate your support. As we do see coming out from Scarlett, going to be that hatch first right away. Going to be a pretty standard build coming out from Vindicta as well. Always playing things safe, always playing things proper.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't want to take any risks here in the early game. You know, he may have had a hard time in game number 1, but you know what? More than anything, he was just warming up. He was getting ready here for the 1-2 much for the Team GP maneuver, Papi.
The Team GP maneuver, of course. Just going down in that first game so that you can catch your opponent off guard.
Oh.
The sandbag.
Yeah.
And just dunk on them in the second game.
The kamikaze maneuver where you go down, but you're bringing them down with you, puppy. Let's go.
As here we go, we are going to be seeing Vindicta opening on up with that 1-1 build. I did see last time that he played this map against Rattata, he did actually go for a Hellbat Marauder build. And there we go, we do see the second gas going down. So I'm thinking we might be seeing that again.
Oh, yeah. And we have seen this kind of rise in popularity. We've seen it come out time and time again. Sometimes it straight up ends the game, and sometimes, you know, just trades relatively evenly. You can transition. It isn't all in by any means.
Yeah, this is something that's very popular, especially with Bunny. I know Bunny was using this build quite a lot, especially on this map. And it's something that I know Vindicta was very interested in. And Scarlett, also a player that can be very greedy. She is one that whenever she sees an opportunity to go for some heavy droning, to cut that army count, she, more than a lot of other players, will often go for that. So I like this build choice.
Definitely. It's a way to punish a player being a little bit too greedy. Fun fact, we actually saw a lot of that a couple of days ago. Yaku and I were casting this Open Cup Asia, ByuN versus Dark, where ByuN was able to abuse Dark because of that. You know, maybe droning up a little bit too much, maybe resting on your laurels, thinking you're safe when you are anything but.
Yeah, and there we go. Just keeping our eyes peeled there on that Rax. What is going to be started up? It looks like he might actually be going for a swap and going for Banshees. And there we go. The Banshee is started up. So it's going to be 2cc Banshee. I feel like he's going for a hard read here, that Scarlett was going to go for a roach push, and she isn't.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, even if no roaches come out, Banshees can still deal some counter damage. You can still get some map control, but of course, you're kind of giving up or you're forfeiting more of an economic style for more of an aggressive style, especially when you don't have roaches that you're up against.
Yeah, absolutely. So this does put Vindicta a little bit further behind. He is playing things very safe here. We do see that third CC going to be started up quite a lot later than it would normally be, and we do have to get a little bit of damage at some stage with this, and Scarlett is going to be playing things a bit more safe, going for a pretty decently timed Bane list, not cutting any corners here, and we do see those spores being started up nice and early as well as... Oh, okay. Just getting faked out there by the burrow. Got a little bit excited there, but looks like it was meant to be Lair.
Do we drink if a player accidentally starts something that they're not meant to start?
No. You're reaching.
Okay. So yeah, just accidentally fumbling a little bit, getting that burrow when really we needed to get that lair. Instead, here we go. We have the Banshee slipping in towards the main base. Just dishing out a little bit of damage, not too much here. Scarlett droning heavily behind this. Oh my god.
Yeah, Scarlett is going hard on the drones here. She is, as I was saying, really playing pedal to the metal when it comes to the greed, and I do have to wonder if a Hellbound Marauder build would have done quite nicely, because I'm not sure how much follow-up scouting Scarlett has done here.
She hasn't done much scouting at all, I'll be honest. She hasn't really gotten too much eyes on Vindicta, and unfortunately he wasn't able to capitalize on it. Scarlett is getting further and further ahead with her droning. And at the moment, Vindicta, he can't really do too much about it. He's working on his own third CC, he's working on his own upgrade timing. Maybe with that timing he can do something. We'll see.
Man, Scarlett is always on the cutting edge when it comes to strategy, especially with Zerg. I love that spore at the front there. That is something that players have been going for a bit more often here, is trying to pick off isolated groups of queens with Hellion Banshee, and bringing that spore forward is a really nice way to handle this.
Yeah, great way to help support these queens, make sure they're not caught out of position. So very nice defensive play here from Scarlett. Sure, you know, you have to give up a little bit of economy, you have to give up a drone as well to make that happen, but with all the droning we've been doing, it is a-okay for Scarlett.
Yeah, and there we go. Scarlett going to be pulling those overlords back a little bit as that creep starts to spread out, and that creep is reaching the middle of the map already here. Of course, a bit of a signature of Scarlett, something that she's been well known for over the years, is her creep spread, and we are seeing that mostly uncontested here as Vindicta does start to push out with his first attack.
Oh my god, yeah, here we go. The first move out is coming through the center of the map. A lot of creep is going to be cleaned up here. We only have 3 tanks with this push, though, so I don't know if we really have too much to lay siege upon any one of these bases, but at least we have a bit of a presence so we can apply some pressure and clear up that creep.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is quite early, of course. So this is normally when a 3cc single tank would be arriving. So we can see that the 2cc does have those advantages, but Scarlett going for a big counter attack here. This is a really nice move.
Yeah, the counterattack runs into Hellions, though, so the Lings are all going to be cleaned up. The Banelings that were morphed in across the map, I don't think they're going to be able to do too much damage. Meanwhile, the Banelings are rolling on in, but Vindicta, he has eyes on this.
Yeah, and the Banelings, they get dragged straight back into the tanks. Every single Baneling going to be taken out. We see combat shields finishing up at a very nice time here. Scarlett going to be running out here to try to clean up some of these reinforcements. That's a nice move here, but what does she have at home? She will be taking out the tank. The Banshee dealing out a good amount of damage. Is Vindicta going to be able to protect his mineral line here?
That's the real question. The tank going down is already a massive loss for Vindicta. Meanwhile, his bio army is laying siege upon this third base, doing a lot of damage to it, but a lot of lost mine time is already being dealt. A lot of SCVs are going to be going down.
Yeah, 5 SCVs are going down. Meanwhile, this hatchery in a little bit of danger. Scarlett is trying to dance back and forth with the queens. She would love to save this if she could, but running back into tank fire, probably not the wisest choice. We do see some nice snipes coming out from Vindicta, but unfortunately a little bit slow on the pickup, and loses quite a lot of those Marines.
Yeah, a lot of Marines are going to be going down. We only have a couple left. The hatchery is quite low, but we saw some transfuses keeping the hatchery alive. Reinforcements are rushing across the map, but at the same time, 22 Lings are on the way. Scarlett trying desperately to hold on to this hatchery. Oh my god, it's so low!
Oh, it got out on 1 HP!
Ah! Drink, puppy,
that medevac
drink!
is 100% on 1 HP. As there we go, Vindicta is able to take this base out, and I absolutely have to give props to Vindicta here. He's made this game scrappy. It's exactly what he needed to do. You don't want to give Scarlett the space with one of those more economic openings where she can drone up to 80, 90 drones, that sort of thing. You want to make the game a little bit scrappy, and Vindicta playing to his strengths here as well, making this a multitask heavy game.
Ooh, but at the same time, the Marines in the middle of the map are being caught out. At the same time, the tank across the map as well did go down. So Scarlett is coming out ahead in these straights. She's sending everything across the map for a counterattack. But the baby, the winner my shot goes off.
Huge Widow mine shot, and I was just about to say, Vindicta, he is on a very nice SCV count compared to the drone count of Scarlett. He's really keeping on par, and as long as he can deal with this counterattack, he'll be in a good spot, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, but at the same time, Scarlett is double expanding right now. We have a fifth and a sixth base on the way, and a seventh base on the way. Ay. So many hatcheries are being thrown down right now, and Vindicta, unfortunately, at the moment, is licking his wounds. He's not going to be out there to punish them. Or is he?
Yeah, I mean, he's got this one drop over here in the top left trying to deal with this one base. He might unfortunately misread this a little bit, that he's further behind than he is when he sees this base, especially with drones being transferred to it. Scarlett may be playing a little bit of a mind game there, although she is starting to actually head towards that 90 drone count. Vindicta, meanwhile, is getting up to 70 SEVs, does have that fourth just about finished up now, is making Liberators and ByuN mine with 2-2 on the way.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to hit a very powerful 2-2 timing. It's very important that Vindicta was able to scout that mining base, by the way, so he knows where to apply pressure and where to push in. We do have a double drop towards the southern portion of the map, headed towards that triangular third, and it looks like Scarlett is not in position to defend.
Yeah, there we go. So pressure being put on that base. Of course, we do see a bit of a counter attack, trying to take out that newly morphing in at fourth at base. The Banelings are going to be able to clean up this push here. Vindicta just a millisecond late with that pickup, but he's going to be able to land his fourth.
Yeah, just barely a second too late there to respond, so Scarlett is going to be able to get away with that hatchery. Vindicta was able to do a lot of damage to it. I believe it went down to half HP, so he can come back and try and punish, but Scarlett has the map control. She has the creep spread. Ooh, takes a couple of tank shots to the face, though.
Yeah, charging up into the tanks, and I do feel like every little exchange like this in such a... Ooh, another nice mine shot. In such a close game like this, trades like this that are very good for Vindicta, that can be what sways things in his favor, and we can already see that the supply is completely evened up just from those little pairs of good trades.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Vindicta, suddenly things are slowly swinging in his favor, but we'll see if he can keep it up right now, because Scarlett, she still has an amazing drone count. She's continuing to drone as well. Here we go. Vindicta is going for a double drop, and we don't have too much creep towards the northern portion of the map. Scarlett may be punished for her expansions.
Yeah, we do see a mine drop being sent out as well. So Vindicta doing everything he can just to get a bit of multi-prong, a bit of pressure out on the map. And I have to give props to Scarlett as well for expanding so aggressively. It's something that we point out a lot with Estrella, a fellow powerhouse in the NA region, that when you give these players even an inch when it comes to an aggressive opportunity or an economic opportunity, they will just go for it fully. They're not gonna hold back when it comes to these openings.
Exactly, and Scarlett, because of her map control, because of her map vision, she was able to keep eyes on this, but you know what? 9 drones go down anyway. Widowmine drops going in towards the natural base as well. Burrow, Poppy, burrow! Ah!
Oh, the medevac is going to be going down. Looks like just a little bit too much going on the map, but Vindicta, he is starting to get into his comfort zone. He is making the multitask happen. This is where he excels. This little dance here between the Liberator and the Spore, this is just such a Vindicta moment here, trying to out multitask his opponent in these little areas.
And he is out multitasking Scarlett right now. 16 drones have gone down. That's an entire mineral line. A base gets killed, not cancelled, towards the southern portion of the map as well. She's having a hard time keeping up. Looks like she has been able to deal with that Liberator, but the drops are still active.
Yeah, with that base denied at the south there as well, Vindicta starting to sway things in his favor. We do see for the first time he does take the supply lead. He's being a little bit careless with this drop here. Does need to get that one back to safety, but it does feel like he's slowly starting to get things in his favor when it comes to the momentum. The tanks are going to be cleaned up here, and some good connections with the SCVs there.
Yeah, 16 SCVs go down. 2 Banelings made it into the mineral line, and that is all that Scarlett needed to do. Suddenly, Vindicta economically is not looking as good as he once did, but 3-3 is on the horizon. It's a couple of seconds away, so he still has a window here where he can flex his upgrades. We can keep up with his opponent. In saying that, though, Scarlett, she's taken up into Ultras.
Yeah, there we go. Vipers and Ultras have hit the field. Vindicta starting to set up that minefield, starting to set up that Sim City as well, just to help deal with the ultras. But most importantly, that is going to make it a bit more difficult for him to take map control here.
It really is. Like, ultras just have so much staying power in the middle of the map. We do see a lot of mine shots going off, cleaning up all these lings.
Immense mine shots there, taking out a lot of lings here. That is the kind of trades that are going to help Vindicta get himself back into this game. And we do see he has split up his army a little bit here, but this is a pretty big push coming in towards the north.
Yeah, it really is. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough to defend here. The tanks kept getting reset. Where my shots are going to be going off, and we're not seeing it on screen. That's a shot.
Yeah, there we go. Of course, so much happening on the map. Not an easy job being the observer in this game. We do see ByuN's going to be heading into the natural. Another fantastic mine shot, saving those SCVs at the last moment.
Aye, there we go. Does save them at the last moment there. The Bailings all get forced back, but Scarlett still has the map control. More Widowmine shots are going to be going off as well. Maxed out armies versus maxed out armies, but I don't think Vindicta... I'm curious as to what his ghost count is looking like.
Yeah, very quick pull, but we're pulling back into other Banelings, and Scarlett setting up a fantastic attack here. Vindicta going to have to consolidate his army, bring everything back together, but the Banelings are starting to get on top of this planetary fortress. We do see a bit of a blinding cloud as well, and a lot of SCVs going down.
An insane amount of SCVs, 18 SCVs do go down once again. The Banelings get into the middle line. For a second there, we were both maxed out, 200 supply versus 200 supply, and in the blink of an eye, Vindicta loses the foothold that he once had.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see this Liberator is going to be heading down to the south. Pretty nice for Vindicta to be able to sneak that one out, get that going. He has been reacting very quickly to everything that's happening on the map, but he is really falling behind in the supply. We have a pretty nice gas bank, but the SCV is quite low, and Scarlett here on 94 drones.
Oh boy, yeah, her worker count is insane right now. Her worker count hasn't really been touched these past couple of minutes either. We do have some very nice Widowmine connections going off on those lings, but there are only lings. The ultras are still alive and they still keep on pushing.
Yeah, Vindicta taking some fantastic trades here with the mines, but looks like the ultras is going to be a little bit too much. I don't know if we have the kind of marauder count that we need to deal with the ultras back at home. They will be charging on into the natural. We have the one Liberator trying to hold down the fort, but G has called a bit of dismay there for Vindicta, and Scarlett returns to her chat there. The game is called.
The game is called. There were some great moments there from Vindicta, but alas, because of the mass expanding, because of the heavy droning from Scarlett, she was for the most part able to get away with it, and Vindicta had a hard time keeping her back, keeping her economy in check. Oh, and Scarlett comes out with the 2-0. Not the easiest 2-0, though, to be fair.
I mean, it was a CVT. It's pretty easy.
Whoa. Calm down, Poppy. Calm down.
Yeah, but absolutely. Vindicta, he had his moments in that game. He did manage to tie the supply a lot of the times. We saw some beautiful mine shots. That was good little mine shots for the fans, but Scarlett just getting that one moment where she took down all those SCVs, and Vindicta was just hanging in the balance until then.
Yeah, he was hanging in the balance, but alas, unfortunately, we weren't able to not just see him, take the series, but we weren't able to see the mech either. It's really what I wanted. I would have taken a shot. Where was the mech, Poppy? Where was the mech? I
mean, playing mech against Scarlett, I feel like a bit of a dangerous proposition.
True.
But I definitely understand the sentiment. Unfortunately, there, Vindicta, despite a good showing, is going to be going down 2-0. That means Shopify Rebellion taking the 4-0. Going to be taking the win over the CranKy Ducklings, but we do have, of course, one final match. It's going to be a ZVZ. And it's going to be Erik coming up against Lambo.
Let's go, Poppy. First, massive shout out to Vindicta. He's actually in our chat channel right now. Give him plenty of love and support. It is very early in the land of the Americas, especially in Vindicta's region, whenever we do play in these events. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vindicta, for waking up at 3-4 a.m. week after week to play in these tournaments. The passion is real. Of course, it's at a really bad time for America. I think the WTL producers are well aware of that it's just not a bad time. Sorry, not a good time for American players. So it is something that we have to overcome, unfortunately. But yeah, much love, Miguelito. Much love.
I mean, overcoming difficulties and disadvantages. That's just NA StarCraft in a nutshell.
I thought you were gonna say that's just Terran, mate. That's just that's.
I mean,
just...
that too. The odds are just stacked up against him.
He's Terran and he's NA. Like, what can he do, Poppy? What can he do? It's crazy.
What can he do? But of course, speaking of NA, we do have Erik coming up against Lambo. And Erik, a player that we haven't been able to field quite as much in this team league. I'm definitely excited to see what he can do in the ZVZ against Lambo.
Yeah, this is the debut of Erik, by the way. This is the first time he's playing in World Team League, and we'll see how his debut comes to fruition. He is a very aggressive player. Lambo, though, is all about the preparation, so I wonder if he even bothered to look into Erik, because if he didn't, we'll see how good his 12-pool defense is.
Yeah, might be in for a surprise here. Lambo definitely one that plays things by the book, and I wonder if Erik is going to have something that maybe Lambo hasn't seen before to mix things up.
Exactly. He's going to go full LATAM, mate. And we saw how Chem was able to perform against Radita, and that's kind of a similar vibe that I'm going for here. Of course, Lambo is a much more established European Zerg player. He has, we have our own kind of the brain of Voltron, and if Shopify Rebellion had like a mascot of any sort, and I do think that Lambo would be the brain.
Yeah, I can see that. So what is Erik?
That's a good question. That's actually a good question. We got the brain, which is Dolan. We got the shaft, which is Vindicta. We have the tip, which is Patty Mac. We have the wrists, which are Oreo. What's Erik? Is he the hands?
Is he the feet? Is he the dancing feet?
Is he the dancing feet? Erik is giga aggressive. He's very cheesy as well. What is that? What kind of the body does that correlate
It's
to?
the heart. It's the heart. It's the heart and commitment.
The heart, the commitment, the soul of Voltron.
Because when you think of someone who has no fear, you think of the heart.
Is that what I think of?
Yeah, because it's all heart, no brain.
True. Okay. No, yeah, okay. No, yeah, I like it. I like it, Poppy. I like it. And speaking of liking it, Kuro, I have
You have a request?
I have a request. Yeah, let's go. You got it, Asher. I have a request. When we go in for the intros, can you post the Erik copy pasta in the chat, please?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Now as we get into this, massive shout out to Shiva Blast in the chat for gifting some more subs. Thank you, Puffy. Thank you.
Beautiful 5 subs. One of those going out to Yakuzaku as well. Love to see it.
Yes, Yakuzaku, Zerg, Troll, Puncher of Kittens, Rooster, Carleb. Yes, hope you all enjoy your subs by Shiva Blaster, and thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it coming into the New Year's. Hope you've had a great holidays. Hope you've had a great time, because the StarCraft just doesn't stop, and the Ducklings, we don't stop. The heart, it's not stopping.
It keeps on pumping, and here we go. We are going to be getting that first game here on Tropical Sacrifice. A map, where we saw a very scrappy game before between Charm and Radita. Are we going to be seeing another scrappy game between these two players? I know Lambo not really one to go for the 12 pools for the 13-12s. Bit more of a traditional player, but here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, a player that is anything but. It is CranKy Ducklings, Erik.
Oh, let's go! It's spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice representing Shopify Rebellion. We have Lambo. Do it. I can see you reading.
I was looking at the other copy fast. That's so dumb. I love it. What does Erik mean? Tell me, Lai, what does Erik mean?
It means endurance, righteousness, intellect, and a kangaroo. The F in Erik stands for fear.
but like, yeah, there is no F.
Exactly, Poppy. Exactly. Let's go. This is all I wanted. Erik, he's actually playing with his reputation right now. He goes for a hatch first, but that was a 15 hatch, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, he went for a gas trick for that hatchery.
Yeah, there we go. It's going to be a Mia Micah hatch first. Meanwhile, we do see Lambo playing his game, of course, at a campfire where Zergs are strongest. It is the Diablo campfire that he is setting up his game at.
Oh, exactly. He is smudging as Zergs do best. He is embracing the dark. And in the dark, Lambo opened up with a pool first.
Yeah, there we go. Going to be a pull first, and it does feel like Erik kind of playing off his reputation here, realizing that it would be pretty likely that Lambo goes for a pull first to be a bit safe between against a 12 pull, a 13-12, anything like that. Going instead for a hatch first, and that is going to net him a slight lead here.
It really is. So far, so good here for Erik. But despite that, we had a commitment into 6 links, and Lambo is rushing across the map. And I do still worry a little bit for Erik because Lambo is going to be looking for some damage. He wants to make this pay for itself. He wants to try and focus down some of these drones.
Yeah, but there we go. Nice quick reactions from Erik. Isn't going to get tricked by those 4 lings rerouting. Oh. One of those drones in a little bit of danger here, but quick reactions by Erik saves that. That was very nicely done.
Oh, exactly. So far, he has been able to keep these drones alive. He goes for the injects. He's lacking a little bit of DPS. The Lings are going to rush in towards the main base again. That drone is still weakened from earlier. Lambo, I'm sure he wants to try and get it. Instead, he fights the Lings.
Yeah, it does fight the Lings. We see 2 Lings traded out for 2. That Queen just going to be dishing out a bit of damage as those last few Lings get on out of here. And looks like Erik does manage to hold on here. Yeah. Does have that Ling speed on the way as well.
He trades better. He lost 1 less Ling. He has a drone, or he had a drone lead. And Lambo, oh my god, this madman. He's crazy. He's playing like he's from LATAM, Papi.
Yeah, kind of like we saw in that previous series. Lambo going to be going here for a very fast lair, and we're just going to be waiting to see if he throws down some additional gases as well to go with that.
Yeah, exactly. Is this going to be for Onitis? Is this going to be for 2-base Muta? Lambo is a man of many builds. Meanwhile, that Ling Micro from Erik. Oh, God. I'm dying, Puppy. Ling Micro. That's a moment where we would get like a +1 for Micro, is what I would say. If we had control of the hexagons.
Yeah, I think we need to extend that hexagon just a little bit there, but we do see extra gases going down. We see a Roach Warren on both sides. Carapace being started up on the side of Erik. Going to be missiles for Lambo as that lair is finishing right now.
Yeah, so Erik is going for a Roach Ling Flood here. That is typically what the +1 Carapace leads to. It does help those Lings soak up more Roach hits for that all in. There we go. Roach is already in production. Lambo is going for a much more standard 2-base Roach play, which means he will be spending a lot more of his larva on his drones. He will be left vulnerable. Ideally, what Erik is doing works best against a 3-hatch build, but Lambo is staying on 2 bases much longer.
Yeah, is that normal to get the lair that early for a quick Roach spit?
No. Not at all. He's hitting his own Roach timing. So I don't know how this is going to work out here. Lambo is going to be hitting with Roaches with Roach speed, but Erik will have a lot more Lings to help buffer, and Lambo recognizes this.
Yeah, there we go. Lambo sees it. He's going to be throwing down that Evo there for a full wall. The Overseer going to be dipping in, getting that full scout. We see a few spines being set up behind this as well. Erik going to be able to poke at this front wall. Should be able to take out the 3rd if he sees that as well.
Yeah, the 3rd is cancelled, by the way. Lambo fully recognizing that he cannot get this up and running. He's preparing for the all-in, but Erik is a madman. He has no fear. He just backs off and he drones.
Yeah, lair on the way. We just had 3rd being started up as well. Lambo immediately scouts that. Very nice scouting by him. Looks like Erik just trying to find that creep tumor there. Doesn't quite get that, but going to be putting some damage down on the Roach Warren. The Roach Warren's going to go down, but not before Roach speed finishes.
Yeah, if it was only a couple of seconds sooner, he would have been able to deny Roach speed, but now that we do have it, Lambo can actually chase this down.
Yeah, and there we go. Lambo, he's going to get aggressive. The Lings are starting to wrap around. They do threaten to catch those Roaches out, so they're not going to be fully committing, but with that, Lambo does secure his low ground.
He does secure that low ground. Erik has been droning. We do have a third base on the way as well. Erik is behind when it comes to the overall army supply. The Lambo does have quite a large Roach army with speed. If he wanted to, he could go for a counterattack, and Erik is waiting for it. He is continuing to threaten this third base, and he is forcing Lambo to stay at home.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. We do see +1 started up for Erik at the same time as the +2 for Lambo. So Lambo is going to have that advantage, especially later on. He should have a really nice +2 timing over Erik here. He's going to be behind, of course, in the armor, but that should all tie up, netting him just a 1 upgrade lead if he does go for an attack at that timing.
Yeah, 2-1 timing is what we're going to be looking for here for Lambo. He has rebuilt his Roach Warren. He can continue that production. Bit of a Ling run by does confirm that the Roach is still in position and confirm that the third base was not cancelled. Erik bleeding out a couple of Lings here. Again, we want to be preserving as much as we can. If we lose too much, we are going to trigger a counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see both players just starting to sneak out a few drones here and there. We did see as well Lambo just going for that slight delay on that hatchery of Erik there, maybe trying to slow down the queen production there. But at the same time, both players just going to be poking in and out, going to be trying to get a bit of a scout.
Ooh.
Actually, quite a bit of damage going down here on that third, but the Roaches are in position.
Yeah, we get a full surround, but we have a transfuse. The hatchery is going to be saved, and a lot of Lings are going to be going down. To be fair, these Lings wouldn't have been too useful anyway, and they do get a little bit of damage here. They're going to try and focus on as many drones as possible. It looks like they will get 1. Can they get 2? No.
Oh, yeah, good micro coming out from Lambo. Saves the queen. It saves one of those drones as well. Hasn't quite gotten to start droning up that third. Looks like he's just committing to Roaches. And Erik, importantly, with those Lings, does scout this.
Asher, did you see how much HP that drone survived on?
Oh.
That's a 1 HP drone, Poppy. That's 1 HP.
Ooh. Oh. And here we go. We do see Erik just trying to hold at the top of that little staircase there, trying to get the favorable engagement. But Lambo, he has a huge supply lead here, and he does almost get up that high ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like Lambo does have that advantage right now, but Erik has the high ground. Lambo's looking for a way in. He's looking to try and outposition his opponent. To be fair, he doesn't even have to because he has so many Roaches. He can still brute force his way through, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, he is just smashing on it through. Erik taking that fight despite having a lot less Roaches, just trying to slow Lambo down, but Lambo a little bit too clever for this, just taking his time, just trying to get into position here to force this fight.
Yeah, and he is going to be forcing the fight. He's coming in from 2 angles right now. Lambo had a massive Roach lead from the early game, where Erik was trying to get a lead early on by just finding some damage. He was struggling to keep up with the droning, and it looks like there's just too much Roaches from the side of Lambo.
Yeah, Erik has some very nice positioning here, but Lambo with that 2-1 timing does have the upgrade lead, and we are seeing here just how much difference the upgrades can make in a mirror matchup. He will be charging on into the natural here.
Yeah.
And this game is over. GG.
GG. Oh my god. The 2-1 is just too good, and Lambo just once again embraces the darkness. The darkness slips on into obscurity.
He is absolutely shrouded in darkness there, just playing in the darkest setup possible.
Oh my, it's crazy because I don't think it's that like what time is it in Europe? It's like 2 p.m. or something, right? Like
it's like at the middle of the day. Like
yeah.
I feel like you'd have to have blackout curtains to be able to make that happen.
Exactly. For it to be that dark in his room, he would have had to have kept the curtains drawn. Like that's you got to get to work to make that happen.
Yeah, it's 5 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Kura is letting us know that in the area of Europe, apparently it gets dark early because it's winter.
I do remember that. The one time that I visited, so it's 5 p.m. there in Germany. The one time I visited London, which admittedly is a little bit further north, I remember the sun would come up at 10 and go down at like 3 or 4 p.m.
That's crazy.
It's awful. And then in summer, it stays up till like 11 p.m.
What?
This, for European people, this probably is just like, well, duh, it's summer and winter. But coming from Australia, this is not normal. We're not used to that at all. It was so weird. People would just be out in the pub, like in the back, in the beer garden at 11 p.m. and it's just like broad daylight. It's bizarre.
Oh, that's crazy. Like here, it's like, it feels pretty normal, like all year round. It feels like
6 to 8.
Yeah, like 6
Yeah.
to 8. There's a little bit of variance here and there, but not too much. You know, we have a set time when the sun goes up and the sun goes down. You know, we don't have any of this weird 11 p.m. nonsense. It's crazy.
Yeah, you get some really short days the further north you get.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of short days, we have a short rush distance as game number 2. It is going to be Erik's map of choice. We saw him not being too aggressive in the first game. I mean, he was going for a follow-up all-in, don't get us wrong. But on a map like Waterfall, I expect to see some early pulls.
It's a smooth transition. I call you out when the transitions are dumb, so I got to point out when the transition's good. That's a good one.
When are my transitions dumb? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Sometimes they don't make sense at all. You'll just be like, time. And talking about time, we have X, Y. Spawning, of course. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, going for a very early gas trick, it is going to be the CranKy Ducklings, Erik.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Waterfall, we have represented Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. What? What's up, Asher? What's up?
It was a very breathy introduction. You're just getting on in there. I felt that. I felt that inside.
Yeah. Feel it, pal. Feel it.
It felt strong. Like family.
Family. Oh my god. All right, here we go. And so far, we do have Lambo going for a hatch first. Nothing too crazy. Hatch pool, actually. So pretty safe, all things considered. Hatch pool gas, not normal at all from Lambo.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a different... I think they're both going for hatch first, but just in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, like Erik went for a 15 hatch once again. He went for like a 15, 15, 15. Or sorry, like a 15, 14, 14. Yeah, like Erik has just his own way of opening, to be fair. Lambo's feels pretty safe. Not safe enough to put him behind like a pool first, but safe regardless. Just have these early links and the early queen.
Yeah, absolutely. Just has his own way of doing things, and we can see the advantage that he gets out of this. He is going to have a much faster link speed.
Oh yeah, exactly. That is, yeah, actually Erik getting into that faster link speed there because of the earlier gases. So he actually could be looking. Yeah, he's going for a link flood. He's not droning. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a very cheeky opening. I love that this comes out from a hatch first as well. Observer, please. Oh.
I
gotta.
We gotta.
He doesn't know the meta. Why didn't he zoom in on it?
Because he wants us to drink, Papi.
Like a
he's looking out for us. Oh my god, as the lings are being pulled up, there we go. There we have a little bit of a pen on those lings. We do have Lambo coming in from the scout though, and there's no queen. Uh-oh.
Yeah, definitely sus. Oh, he sees the lings as well. Really nice movement coming out from Lambo. Is he going to be able to get that fast wall up in time? He does even leave a gap for the queen here. Quick cancel. A bit of indecision here. He decides instead to maybe evacuate his natural. This is exactly what I was talking about. The craziness of Erik against the textbook nature of Lambo might have that little bit of a computer overload effect, and we do see he's having trouble deciding what to do here.
I was going to say, it looked like does not compute. Like he didn't know what to do. He has a lot of queens though. Honestly, I do think that he can go toe-to-toe with this just because of the sheer amount of queens and lings that Lambo has. Erik does have ling speed, sure, but with the power of transfuse and with the power of positioning, I think Lambo should be okay.
Yeah, the queens are in a position. We do see those lings going to be trading out as best as they can with the lings of Lambo, but Lambo more than up to the task when it comes to the micro. We are going to be seeing a few of these lings going down. Nice micro coming out from Erik, charges on into the main. Might be able to put some damage down on these drones. Beautiful micro by Lambo, just bringing back that hurt drone there.
Yeah, and there we go. The links are all going to be cleaned up. We have confirmation of the Baneling nest in the main base as well. Erik is fully aware that Lambo wants to go for a follow-up Ling Bane bust, but he cancels.
Yeah, gonna go for the cancel there. We do see a spine being started up by Erik as well as a Roach Warren, so preparing himself for a counterattack.
Yeah, and to be fair, he needs to right now because Erik has been droning. He doesn't have very many Lings at all. We do see Lambo going for the counterattack. And to be fair, Erik thinks that this counterattack is going to be much more committed. So he has to be a little bit careful with how much he really spends on this. But to be fair, Erik is droning quite heavily.
Yeah, he is droning behind this. He has extra gases on the way. That Roach Warren is going to be finishing on up as well as those Eva chambers. We do have that spine being pulled to the front, so he will be safe there. Actually going for a lot of gases here. I wonder if he might be looking to go into mutas from here.
I love it. I do feel the Muta switch coming upon us here for Erik. And Lambo went for an Evo chamber instead of that Baneling nest or a Roach Warren, so I don't think he can really counterattack anytime soon. He has a Roach Warren on the way now, but it's going to take some time, and it's going to give a lot of time for Erik.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see that lair starting to finish on up, the gas is starting to pile up for Erik. And if he does go into this muta switch, it can really catch Lambo off guard, especially with Lambo only just getting that third up and running now.
Yeah, we'll see, because Erik has 1-1 on the way, but he can always cancel it. It can always be a fake out here. So once the lair finishes up, we'll have confirmation if he commits into Glavry Constitution, into Roach Speed, or if he goes for the Hidden Spire.
Yeah, and there we go. With that finishing up, we do see Roach Speed on the way. So it's going to be more Roach-based play coming out from Erik. We do see the Overseer being started up as well, just to get an extra scout on what's happening for Lambo.
Yeah, and we'll see how this works out here. So Erik is going to be waiting for 1-1, then he's going to be able to focus on one of these Evo chambers and start +2. I'm curious if he wants to wait for +2 or if he's just going to go with 1-1 and go for one big all-in. Of course, he is contained to 2 bases, and Lambo is getting away with that third.
I have the most Terran brain. I was just picturing that Evo lifting up and then moving and landing.
You're like, what do you mean kill it? Just lift,
lift
Poppy, just
yeah.
lift.
It's Terran. These Zergs, sorry. Such noobs. Don't know about lifting their buildings.
Shaking my head, man. You know what? Zerg should be able to borrow their buildings. They should be able to just settle underground, you know? Yeah.
I don't mind it. As we do see Lambo dipping in with this Overseer, is going to get a full scout. Sees absolutely everything that's going on for Erik. And, oh, as the observer is pointing out here, Erik with a bit of a supply block.
Oh my god, brutal supply block. Meanwhile, here we go. The Evo Chamber is going to be going down so he can hit his 1-1 timing and also expand, I imagine, as Erik is going to be moving on out here. Now, we'll see what he's going to commit to us. He's actually going into Burrow.
I really like this. I think he does need to make the match a little bit asymmetrical to get a lead here, just because he's so far behind with this third timing. He does need to find a way to find this. Oh, and there we go. Speaking of asymmetrical, we are going to be getting something rather unusual. It's going to be 4 Overlords set up for the drop.
Oh my god, so we have a Tunneling Claws, we have a Burrow, and we have Dropper Lords all being set up. This is great, but at the same time, this does weaken the overall pushing power of Erik. He doesn't have the roach count as high as Lambo, so we'll see if he can pull Lambo apart right now. We'll see if Lambo can react in time.
Yeah, and he was perfectly in the dead space. This is working like a charm. He sets up, doesn't quite catch Lambo on the ramp. Unfortunately, Lambo just a little bit too much there. I think we need to pick up and get out of here.
Yeah, there we go. We have a bit of a hot pick up here. Erik was going for a bit of a cheeky move, but Lambo was quick to respond. His army was not too far behind. No!
Get out! No! Actually, take one more shot. Get onto 1 health.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, nice moves here. A lot of the roaches of Erik have been able to survive because of the bar, but look at the supply right now. Lambo, because of the third base, because of his droning, he has the economy to sustain this. He has the detection as well.
Yeah, the Overseer pops on in. Erik trying to make the game chaotic, trying to make it weird, and Lambo just too clever for that. We do see a little bit of a supply block here for Lambo. We have those beautiful laser overlords getting in there. 7 overlords finishing on up here, but that third is going to be going down.
Why are you calling him out like that?
You've been waiting a long time to say that. As we do see extra overlords finishing up, we see ByuN. Roach is getting into every base here, but can he hold his front here?
It looks like he cannot. There are just so many roaches here for Lambo. The amount is overwhelming. GG gets called, and Lambo, I think it's Lambo, and trying to make out his features there, does take the series 2-0.
GG. Lambo takes this one out, and unfortunately for the CranKy Ducklings, we are going to be ending the season with a 6-0, but no shame going down to one of the top teams here. Shopify, of course, having quite a good season here, well in that top 7, and they are, of course, going to be fighting things out in the season finale in that little ladder knockout bracket.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Shopify losing to Shopify Rebellion is not a bad feat at all, and I'm very proud of all of our players here. You know, even Erik with his debut here in WTL, like game number 1 was very chaotic and very back and forth, and even though he did lose 2-0, like I hope people were able to see him kind of hold his own for a while there against Lambo. Likewise, I can say the same about Vindicta. I can say the same about Dolan. You know, they all had their times in the sun. Patty Mac, massive shout out to Patty Mac as well. If you're wondering why Patty Mac wasn't here, he is usually a part of our lineup in WTL. Unfortunately, he is currently unavailable because he's seeing his family for the holidays, so he doesn't have a PC. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have been here as well. Same with Oreo. Oreo was actually originally going to play until things got postponed, but likewise, he's also out on holidays for the holidays.
Yeah, despite what the rumors do say, Patty Mac unfortunately not going to be able to play Protoss on a Nintendo 64 controller or anything like that. Does need his computer, so we weren't able to see him today. And we have to point that out as well, because Patty Mac, he did get that winning match that got us into the Codes originally, and
true.
For us, for the CranKy Ducklings, it was such a privilege to be able to play in Codes, and we had such a sick run to get in there. I think these players really had a great time getting to face off against such a wide breadth of players and the best of the best.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our Ducklings. I'm really proud of all of our players as well. Making it into Codes was a difficult feat to accomplish, and we made it. And even here in the main event as well, we were able to take some names, take some wins, take some little victories here and there. And yeah, I couldn't be prouder of my sons, of my hijitos, papi, my hijitos. Oh.
We have that beautiful music coming in. And yeah, just having a look at some of the highlights of our little run here as it does come to an end. Vindicta taking that big 2-0 over Raditar, and really Patty Mac taking a game off Clem. That was really impressive as well. That was a huge moment for the Ducklings.
Patty Mac almost taking his first game against Rainer as well, if you remember, like where he was so far ahead and there was no way for him to lose, but he found a way to lose. Where Rainer was desperately trying to claw his way back into the game on Moondance. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
Earlier in the season as well, we saw Dolan taking down Zaun with the Stargazers build, that classic combat shields build on Stargazers.
Yeah, exactly. Dolan with his TVP magic is insane. So he was also able to pull that off against Zaun. Oh my god, we've created a lot of memories with all of our players, and not just our players, but also with each other.
I'll never forget our first time. I mean, yeah, as much as our Codes run, it was definitely a bit rough. I mean, we are at the bottom of the table. We had a bit of a rough time. That Code A run, that qualifying run was incredible. That was a bit of a fairy tale story, especially with just how well Vindicta went. And man, I had an absolute blast casting through those games as well.
Yeah, like, oh my god, the Cinderella story of Vindicta, of the CranKy Ducklings to make it through Code A. I know that there is going to be another season of WTL next year. I know that they do plan on changing some of the formats as well, and we may be a part of it. We may not. It's still a little bit early to say what's going to happen to the CranKy Ducklings. Whether we retain our roster, we adjust our roster, or maybe not so much. We'll see what happens with the Ducklings. I know, we've talked about some financial situations before, about running a team. It is quite expensive and it can be a little bit difficult to pull off, but we're going to do our best. And if we can, we will play in the next season of WTL.
Yeah, absolutely. The CranKy Ducklings, of course, the goal was just to see out this season as well. So we really appreciate everyone's support. We love everyone showing up in the chat. There's familiar names that we see over and over again. And of course, if you do want to help support us, want to see us coming into that future seasons, having us have another run through that code S, trying to see if Vindicta can, pop off, if Patty Mac can pop off, if Dolan can pop off, even Erik, Starduck, and Oreo as well. Any support, of course, really appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. We all appreciate it. And technically, WTL isn't over. We can still continue to cover the playoffs. We're not going to be there, but they will be running week after week after week after week. On top of that, there is also a 2v2 event going on, and we are participating in it. We have a 2v2 team of Vindicta and Dolan. The two Terran brothers are going to be coming out together strong, Bobby.
Be spicy. I feel like Dolan might have some, he is, of course, the brain of Voltron.
He is the
I'd love
head.
to see what he comes up for in 2v2, because I'm not a clever player. I'm going to admit it. I have no idea what to do in 2v2, but someone like Dolan who can come up with his own builds, I think in 2v2 he can really shine.
I think so as well. Like, I want to kind of echo what you're saying. That is, like, I want to see the shaft and the head come together. And what can we do together as well? I'll actually post a link here in the live feed. I'm sure Kuro has it. Kuro, you can show it off if you want as well. The bracket for the 2v2 WTL tournament is now out. It's a very big, hefty bracket. And Vindicta and Dolan, they've got their first round opponents.
I can't see it. Oh. I was going to say as well, the Brain in the Shaft kind of sounds like an 80s TV show or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's got like the kind of the intelligent, the one that's trying to kind of make things work all the time. And then you've got the one that's kind of a bit impulsive, just always going with his heart. And they're at odds, but in the end, they have an unstoppable bond.
They love each other, Bobby. They love each other. What is it? It's what? Pinky in the Brain? Yeah, Yaku's gonna
It's Pinky in the Brain, yeah.
There you go.
So it looks like their first match is going to be against Solar and Maru.
Yeah, Onside Gaming, mate. We're going up against Onside Gaming first round. Brutal. But it's a 2v2, so even though Maru and Solar are amazing separately, are they amazing together?
Oh my god, Cyril in time?
Cyril in time? No, sorry, Cyril and Oliveira.
Oliveira.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We're also going to be bringing you some live coverage of the 2v2 event when it does come around the corner. We have plenty to cover here on the CranKy Ducklings, and stick around. We also have another day of WTL tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to cover it. We'll see how we feel tomorrow, because, it is New Year's, and I know that, I don't know if we really want to be spending day after day after day casting, so we'll figure it out. We'll see if we feel okay. I know these WTL days can be quite long indeed, especially because I'm actually casting ESL Book of Asia tomorrow morning with Chase. I'll be back here with Chase.
There we go. So we will have coverage of that ESL Open Cup. I know some of the ESL Open Cups recently with this busy holiday season haven't quite been getting that coverage they deserve, and CranKy Ducklings, of course, been covering some of those replays as well to try to catch up. But yeah, we should have some exciting games there. Hopefully going to be seeing some of the mainstays, the ByuNs, the Solars, the Gumihos.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it. And speaking of getting some eyes on the name stays on the Terrans that we want to keep our eye on, Asher, when's the next stream, puppy?
Probably stream tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And if
Depending
people
on
want
how I
to,
feel.
if people want to be tuning into some AsherBro, where can they find you?
At twitch.tv/AsherBro.
AsherBro, he's amazing. He's beautiful. He has some great Australian Terran gameplay coming at you on his Twitch channel. So be sure to be there and support him tomorrow. Support him, Pop.
After ESL career.
After ESL career.
I can steal the raid.
You can take the raid. Take my raid.
Feel me. And in the coming days, if you do manage to find a small moment where you're not casting and you decide you want to ruin your day on the ladder, where might we find you?
That's exactly the mindset that I have when deciding when to stream. Yes. I was like, I could stream today, but do I want to smudge before the cast? Real talk. I try to avoid streaming before casting because I don't want my mood to be impacted. I want to be positive. I want to be able to enjoy myself when casting, and we just die on the ladder.
Yeah, I wish I was that smart. There's been a few casts this year where I've come into the cast just like blood boiling, wanting to get straight back on the ladder and
you're an
get those wins
animal.
back.
I keep telling you, stop, Papi, stop, and you can't stop yourself.
But it cheers you up, getting a bit of casting going.
Okay, fair enough. If you want to tune into some of my content, light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week whenever I can, whenever I'm not casting. But if you just want to tune into our casts, it's here live on the CranKy Ducklings. We have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a Discord server, we have a Twitter as well, and we post on all of these platforms whenever we go live. We also upload every single one of our VODs on YouTube, so if you cannot tune in live and you enjoyed our casting, and if you want a little bit more of it, check us out on YouTube. We have plenty of content there for you. We upload on a daily basis. All of our past WTL coverage, ESL Open Cups, DreamHack, Home Story Cup, Sentimiento Latino, Batalla de las Americas, Copa Hyperion. We have everything there on our YouTube channel. A Berserker Team League as well. Got plenty of content. But the least we ask is for you to follow us here on Twitch.
Looking forward to those future Caprilu Berserker Team League matches.
You're an animal. Oh my god. With that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to support us, we have a Patreon page as well, and you can subscribe here on YouTube. I want to give a special shout out as well to Dricket. I believe he's the player manager or the manager of StarCraft for Psystorm Gaming. Thank you so much, Dricket. We go back a ways. He was also the owner of Exxon Gaming back in the day, so much love. Much support to Drickets, a very important part of North American StarCraft. And Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll see you guys in less than 24 hours.
Ciao, ciao.